It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies. We actually got to leave our homes and go to the drive-in this week. But do not worry, we also streamed some stuff as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hey there, Jim.
Hey there, Bryce.
So, with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
Oh, thanks to all who have been supporting us in our fabulous podcast. If you love our independent podcast, please support us and join the growing Film Rage community by joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/filmrageyyc. All members get special episodes and content only for members, and all members that sign up get a special limited edition Film Rage merch item. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible movie. Shout out to our biggest listening state, which is not Colorado, it's Missouri.
Really?
And our biggest, really. And our biggest listening province is in Canada is Alberta. We thank y'all for being number one supporters this month. Go Bears and Yahoo!
Canyon Meadows Cinemas are open for their delicious concessions. Popcorn, corn dogs, mini donuts, and more. Open Thursdays 4 to 9, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday 12 to 9 for takeout via curbside pickup. Just go to canyonmeadows.ca and enter your order. And by the way, by being one of our faithful Film Rage listeners, you can get 15% off. Just enter the promo code RAGEON. That's RAGEON to claim your 15% discount. Or, if you would rather have your snacks delivered, that is possible as well through Skip the Dishes, Uber Eats, and DoorDash throughout Calgary. For more details, visit canyonmeadows.ca. And here, CMC would like to thank you for your continued support, and we hope to see you again soon at the cinema. And breaking news, this Thursday, which is tomorrow, June 10th, they're going to be open.
Yeah, baby.
To actually
so you're gonna get a new commercial.
Movies. Yeah.
You're going to get a new commercial from them.
I guess so. So tomorrow they're showing Freaky, they're showing The Little Things, The Courier, Let 'Em Go, Crude's A New Age, Promising Young Woman, and Scoob. So
Scoob. Maybe we should see Scoob tomorrow.
Maybe we should. It's an option. So yeah, get out there to Canyon Meadows Cinema and support them because they are open for business, and I am ready to partake in some movies on the big screen.
And they have the best vegan popcorn, I'm told. So, no, they don't offer butter. So. What do we do?
We're streaming, Jim.
This is a different. Wait, before you start, this is kind of a different thing for us because we only have one streaming item, but we got a lot of stuff we saw.
Yes. It's kind of a nice change of pace, isn't it?
It's the best pace ever.
A sign of things to come.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we started the week by streaming a little movie by the name of Wrath of Man. This is Guy Ritchie's latest, so I was kind of excited to see it. So, director Guy Ritchie returns with Wrath of Man, the story of H, played by Jason Statham, a mysterious fellow with obvious ulterior motives that works for a cash truck company that transports millions of dollars around Los Angeles. This is a change of gears from Ritchie's last movie, as the rapid-fire, patented humor penetrated action of The Gentleman, along with a parade of quirky characters, gives way to a more straight-ahead revenge action style in Wrath of Man, with more serious participants. Statham is solid, as he always tends to be. The story, while not overly original, hits all the beats. The film rolls along at a decent pace. I will admit I was a little distracted by the fact that this was a Guy Ritchie movie that did not feel like a Guy Ritchie movie. The camera shots were smooth and glided from one subject to the other. It is very stripped down from a typical Ritchie movie in pretty much every way. From the aforementioned camera movements, to the more understated performances from the actors, to the toned-down energy of the entire project, this film felt different. This is a very good, serious action movie with very good performances and fitting outcomes for every character within the story. This was an action-packed and enjoyable meh.
Oh, isn't that too bad for you? Now, Guy Ritchie, baby. I love how everyone's name is handed out by the trainer dude. And the most original name for Statham was just H.
H.
I'm like, everybody else had cool names, but then there was just H because he was like ran out of cool names or something.
I think his last name was just hard to pronounce, so he just called him H.
Yeah, sure, why not? And our boy Josh Hartnett plays a different character than I see him play. I have always loved him, but damn, son, Josh got some range. This has the makings to be like any other testosterone macho fueled film. So I gotta say, this did not feel like a Guy Ritchie film.
No, it didn't.
What?
I've heard that somewhere, Jim.
I heard that too. I have not, I not least one that I've seen before, and I think I've seen them all. Normally, his dialogue is quick and biting, so intelligently written. This was like the locker room at a junior high dodgeball tournament. I'm not saying I hated it. I'm just saying not what I expected. Plus, it's an I can film. Guy Ritchie, where my London boy in British accent. Which kind of surprised me. I'm like, what's happening? I don't get it. I don't hear a lot of British actors except one. I motherfucking love Jason Statham. He is so awesome and very cool. I like there may be a Statham boner, a brewing here a little bit. I'm not saying there was, but it was a little bit of brewsome for the Statham. First off, why was Al Pacino even in this movie? I have no clue. Well, enough about him. Layers and layers and layers. When you
Did I miss something? Was Al Pacino in this movie?
Yes.
When?
He was like the mafia kingpin guy.
That was Andy Garcia.
Oh, wasn't Andy Garcia? No wonder. I confuse the two of them all the time. I didn't even look at the credits. I was just like, that's Al Pacino, isn't it? Yo, you're right.
Oh my God. I was like, what the hell are you talking? I thought you were going into a bit or something, but no.
Screw them up because I'm like, his character wasn't even needed. I'm like, he's in there for 2 minutes the entire movie, and I'm like, okay, that's awesome though. That's how much he impressed me in this movie.
I guess
I didn't even know the difference. They're both old and they both are annoying to watch as they age.
Ah, Jim.
Well, I don't have egg on my face because anybody that sees this movie, when you see him in it, you'll be like, oh yeah, that could have been Al Pacino because there's no effort to really do anything. So now that we got that straightened out, thank God. Layers and layers and layers. When you think you know what is going to happen in this film, think again. This moved from testosterone-filled monkey man movie to Guy Ritchie, fuck my brain up film in less than 45 minutes. I'm like, who's the villain here? I don't know, and I could not be happier that I did not know. Did Guy Ritchie spend time in Japan? I ask only because this film took a whole Japanese gangster feel for me anyway.
A little bit.
But only a little kind of Guy Ritchie style. And people, do you want to know how a proper timeline change appears in a movie? No, it's not a fucking montage. And no, it's not, 3 months earlier this happened. That did happen, but it wasn't used all the time. This is Guy Ritchie's brilliance, is where you can have, a couple of problems with this movie, yes, but they're pretty minor enough. But that movement of time and space back and forth. I mean, we've seen so many movies like they were like, oh, they've got to put a montage in, or let's talk about this for 5 minutes. Kind of like we're going to talk a little bit later. I'm just bringing this up specifically because we will talk about how you go through time changes in a better style. And obviously Guy Ritchie does it much better than people we're going to talk about later. So a reminder, 2 weeks ago when I said I hated heist movies, well, apparently I didn't see a Guy Ritchie heist movie lately. So this actually was an absolute mondo for me. Wow. I fully enjoyed it. Yep, my favorite line, Dave, you just worry about putting your asshole back in your asshole and leave this to me. I've never used that line, but I think I'm going to use it going forward.
Yeah, I don't know what it means really.
I don't know either, but I kind of like it.
Fair enough. Yeah, I liked it a lot, but yeah, Mondo, yeah, it's a little generous. It was a very enjoyable action movie, but you know, you're talking to the guy that's not super duper into action movies, but neither are you. It's
true. Really. Well, I like action movies if it had a lot of things that were interesting in it, or it has John Wick in it, obviously. But I like a lot of kind of Chinese, Hong Kong action type movies where there's a lot of kicking ass and punching dicks. And I like this one actually I just was so surprised. I think it took me a little off base because as I'm watching it, I'm first thinking, okay, this movie isn't a Guy Ritchie movie. And that it wasn't like anybody else, right? Like it was very different. And so for that reason, I liked it alone because I don't like things that all look the same. Unless, of course, there's something unique about it. And this was very unique for me, so I fully enjoyed it.
Cool. I can't argue with anything you said, except it wasn't quite a mondo.
That's okay. If you know what? If Al Pacino was in this movie, it might have made it to mondo for you.
No, would have done nothing, because really, Andy Garcia was a throwaway character. I don't even remember his name. What was he again? I don't even know. He was some sort of kingpin?
I don't know. I couldn't remember his name, and you couldn't remember his name. Yes. So it's kind of the same.
Not really. Calling Andy Garcia Al Pacino and me not remembering the character's name, not the same at all, my friend.
It is kind of bad. But I don't really like either one of them anymore, so I kind of was just, to be quite honest, it's kind of when I went to the washroom and then came back. So
fair enough. All right, let's go to the drive-in.
Yeah, let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby and buy ourselves a drink.
Yeah.
So, for those of you who don't live in Calgary, you would not have been able to come to the Cuff Drive-In with us. But those of you who were, hopefully they're listening, actually got to spend some time with us there. For those of you who are maybe living in another city, I have a feeling you have a chance to have seen these movies we're talking about, except for maybe the middle one we're going to talk about. So for those people listening that are in Calgary, you can always find information on our friends Cuff at www, gotta make sure you add that, .calgaryundergroundfilm.org. And you'll get to go back and see which films they played at their festival and what they played at the drive-in for us. So I have the sheer pleasure to introduce the long-awaited Saw film, Spiral.
Spiral!
This has...
From the book of Saw, Jim.
There we go. Now, I think that was the old title. I think they just called it Spiral because the people
it's still on the poster. It's Spiral from the book of Saw.
IMDb, I think it just says Spiral, and I think maybe the people from Saw were trying to pretend that they didn't know this movie existed. That's my guess. So this, in case you didn't know, is a criminal mastermind unleashes a twisted form of justice in Spiral, the terrifying new chapter from the book of Saw, or at least the person who wrote the bio in IMDb said. Apparently they didn't see the movie. So let me tell you about Spiral. Let's get one thing clear though. I loved the first Saw, and in fact most of the Saws. I actually have the whole collection, so this is one I'll go back to many times. I even as I'm watching this movie unfold, I'm thinking to myself, and you all who've listened to us before know what I think about sequels, so be prepared. But I gotta say, it's been a very long time that I've actually watched the original Saw, so I was kind of like, with the break from the last one now and bringing in Chris Rock, I thought maybe, just maybe, there's going to be some humor into a badly needed reboot. Well, the quick answer is no. This was not funny. The soundtrack was completely awful. It was mostly regurgitated terrible cop stuff that we have seen countless times before. The story was old and done way better so many other times before. The engineering of the traps, which is usually always, the best things in these movies, they were just okay. I think maybe because they were actually in previous Saws designed by an engineer, but these ones, I don't know, maybe they were designed by, those 1,000 monkeys trying to type the Bible out in a million years or something. This film, I only really liked the first trap, and the rest of them just, were just they didn't have any creative juice in it whatsoever. I do not have to remind everyone, there are more creative critters out there than this particular sequel. They could have written a whole different movie and we would have enjoyed this better. Where's the next great Saw to be franchised? Like, that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a reboot of Saw and not have it be good. Stop bringing back shit for nostalgia reasons and just write fucking good original content. I personally know like 50 amazing horror books that the producers could have brought to the screen before rebooting a dying and dead franchise. Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson were basically Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson in their stereotypical selves in movies. We should have a pretty big drinking game as to say who would say motherfucker more. And I don't remember counting, but I seem to remember that Chris Rock was perhaps winning. The dialogue was terrible. Everything about this film was done before. Was there any research about anything that happens in police work when they made this film? Or how about the 5+ times they don't put gloves on when they go to touch evidence? Or how about the epic level of CPR that Chris Rock's character as a cop to try and save his boss's life when she's only been dead for 30 seconds? Yeah. Pounding on a chest is not CPR, dude. It's not. It's just pounding on her chest. Yeah. I'm just going to quote my boy Mitch from the Real Locker Room Talk here for a second. When asked if he was going to go see this film, he said, Chris Rock in a Saw movie? That just doesn't fit. And you know what? He's right. When Chris Rock does either his, what I call blue steel, or maybe it's, I'm going to go take a dump, when he's sternly thinking about something, I'm like, what? This makes no sense. The sequel was the worst one that I can remember, and it gets a double Chris Rock stick to stand up, and we're gonna talk more about this later. Rage. Super duper big huge rage.
You're being rough on Chris Rock. He doesn't need to stick to stand-up. He's been in plenty of stuff where he's been fine. At any rate, Spiral from the Book of Saw is an exercise in wasted potential. How can a movie starring Chris Rock, who I personally like, and Sam Jackson fall this flat? I was genuinely excited for this reboot of sorts of the franchise, but after seeing this, they need to not make any more if this is the lackluster effort we are to get. The contraptions are not well thought up and do not lend themselves to the inventiveness of the previous films. Watching Chris Rock do his best blue steel, as you mentioned, for 90 minutes was not as entertaining as that might sound. And come on, how can having Rock and Jackson cast as father and son not be pure gold? Just more wasted potential to throw on the trash heap that is Spiral. And seriously, the supposed twist of who this new Jigsaw was so predictable, I was embarrassed for the writers. Pigsaw definitely paled in compared to Jigsaw, as did everything else in this film. This was also poorly written, as we got some major tone and pacing issues as well, especially that of our lead character, who starts out in Eddie Murphy mode, conjuring up the spirit of Axel Foley from Beverly Hills Cop in the opening scenes, and then on a dime turns into the blandest character on the screen. What a waste of time and talent this film was. This was a rage.
Oh, boom, baby. And our buddy Merman could not make it with us today. But Merman had to specially send me a text that says, no matter what you do, don't forget to tell everybody that Merman also thought this was a rage.
Fair enough. All right.
Okay. So we saw something that I've been waiting to see my entire life. No, we didn't. We're seeing a different movie that I wish I'd been waiting for my entire life.
You are putting the cart before the horse again there. Or the horse before... No, that's right. Cart before the horse.
I don't know what that means to the price of tea in China, but keep going.
All right. So we, on night 2 of the drive-ins at Cuff, we saw Recovery. This is a COVID breakout, or I should say it's a film, but it's kind of a COVID film. A COVID breakout at a nursing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a COVID breakout at a nursing home prompts 2 sisters to go on a cross-country road trip in order to save their grandma. This film based its potential success on the chemistry between the 2 leads, Whitney Call and Mallory Everton. This ended up being the right move as these 2 have chemistry to spare. There is a rapid-fire delivery of attempts to make us laugh, and a lot of it works. You can tell that the actors are enjoying themselves, which is infectious to the viewer. See what I did there? Infectious.
It is COVID. It is COVID.
The film is not going to change your life or teach you anything, but it is a breezy good time, and on that level, it's a complete success. One thing did bother me, however. I don't know why it was called Recovery. I don't think anyone recovered from anything in it. Oh well, it was still entertaining. It was a good road trip movie with plenty of laughs and plenty of chemistry between the actors. Recovery was meh.
Oh, well, let me tell you what I thought of this. What were you all thinking as we were a few weeks ago into COVID? Like, what were we all thinking? Well, this film takes us on a comedic journey through our own minds of what we have been probably going through for the entire past year. The best random phone calls from any movie that's ever happened ever, from the kid, the sister, the grandma, the boy crush. All of it was so fun and funny. I could watch these 2 actors do a TV series that went on for a lifetime and never tire of hearing them talk together. Okay, so this was a thing as we were watching this film. Every time something confusing was happening, we would ask a question aloud. This is us sitting in the drive-in. We'd be like, oh, that was confusing. Well, and then just as we're about to say that, they would literally answer all of our questions. So I'm kind of like, what? How did they so smartly write that? Apparently, because they're good. The ladies in this film were freaking hilarious. I could not stop laughing the entire movie. The silly outrageousness of their thought process was just like me and one of my besties being stupid. I can imagine being on this spin-off, a buddy comedy, and I enjoyed every second of it. Yes, there was a couple of slow points, but the love and then soon comedic moments would come so fast and fevered. It was heartwarming, funny, and a great COVID film. I thought there for me, we've seen a few COVID movies, and other than The Host, I can't say any of them I enjoyed.
Yeah, Host was really good.
Yeah, of course. The comedy is so random and quirky and fun and silly. And did I mention random? Because yeah, this is pretty random, the entire movie. I think a lot of it might have been ad-libbed. And my love of comedies is not always present, as most of you who listen to us are. Comedies are way down in my favorite genres. This movie was COVID-tastic mondo, and my favorite line was, you smell like ham.
All right.
And Murray also thought this film was mondo.
Wow, mondo. All right.
2 mondos and a meh. Okay, but when was the last time that you've ever seen a movie of comedy lately, and don't say Hubie Halloween, where you laughed as much as this movie?
don't know. You put me on the spot. I'm sure I've watched lots of movies where I laughed more than this movie. Having said that,
Well,
I laughed a lot in this movie, but at the end of the day, was it Mondo? Nah, it was all right. I liked it.
It was 100%. I think
If
this
anybody
is my favorite
said-
comedy
if
I've seen in 5 years.
If anybody came up to me and said, you know what, I want a breezy 90 minutes and I want to be entertained, want to laugh a little, I'd say, yeah, watch Recovery. You're guaranteed to laugh. It's good.
Yeah. And I would say this is the best comedy I've seen in 5 years. Hands down.
There you go.
I can't believe you gave our girl Tiff a Mondo and you're giving this one a meh.
Because it was Mondo. I can't wait. I'm hoping at some point soon I get to see her and Billy Crystal, their film. Because yeah, I really want it. I want Tiff to have like back-to-back Mondo. She's like my new favorite actress. She's the best.
You know, sometimes when you think you love somebody unconditionally and then they say something like they love Tiffany Haddish, it's kind of like you hate them just for a minute.
As I say, you know what? I've only got one movie to base it on right now. Tiff is aces in my book right now. And you know, I am looking for it because the fact that she's in this Billy Crystal movie, I can't remember the name of the damn thing. But anyways, I am going to watch it, and that's going to be the key. If she can go back to back, I'm going to be like, all right, Tiff has arrived. But, sometimes people take a while to get into the swing of things. Sometimes it takes a bit.
I can't say as I've seen it yet, so I'll keep wishing and a hoping and a praying.
As I say, I can't. That's why I want to watch her next movie, because maybe you know.
And I still don't. But I'll probably have to see it because you'll make me go see it, and it'll really annoy me. So it'll be a pretty entertaining episode. So stay tuned.
I hope we can get
5 or 6 months from now. Who knows? But you know, it seems like we can never stop talking about Tiffany Haddish. So there you have that. Well, on a
good or bad.
There's on a brighter note, we got to see what I've been waiting to see my whole life, and I'm still kind of mouth agape. An elderly gentleman goes for what he assumes will be an ordinary day at the amusement park, only to find himself in the middle of a hellish nightmare instead. And this, my friends, is directed by my all-time favorite director, George A. Romero, and it was written by Wally Cook. And it stars a bunch of people that I don't think anybody would have ever seen anywhere, ever, because this is the lost and forgotten, not necessarily forgotten by me, but forgotten film from George Romero. This has never been truly released. It would have had a very soft release when the Lutheran party of
I think they buried it, didn't they? They saw it, but they didn't release it.
But they're the only people.
Yeah, they're the only people that saw it, and they're like, "What the is this?"
That's the what I'm meaning is that by it had a very limited release.
So the 3 or 4 Lutherans that put the kibosh on it.
Yeah, exactly. So as I said, I've been waiting for this movie my entire life. Well, maybe not all my life, but
almost
pretty close.
Yeah.
Ever since I became aware of Romero at the young age of 12, I knew it existed and I wanted to see it. This film does not have great production values. It is not going to be for everyone. That is 100% for sure. And if you watch this film expecting anything that Romero has done in the past, you will be a little bit surprised. I mean, it is definitely of the era of his early work and is pretty choppy with the messaging he's wanting to get across. But the overall message is clear that the Lutheran Church wanted, although I'm pretty sure they didn't see that when it was first made, which is about old people being second-class citizens. I don't think it's really a match for what they were hoping for, at least.
No,
this is why it hasn't been released.
That's what they wanted. They just didn't want it in the way that he did it.
That he did it, yeah.
They wanted to shine a light on the fact that the elderly were being treated very poorly. That was the whole point of what they wanted. To help it. Just not in this way.
Exactly. Well, I think
this way was effective. But go ahead, go on with your review. Sorry for interrupting.
I actually 100% believe you that I think that this would have been more effective if they showed this to people. It has the great sensibility of Romero, along with the biting, tongue-in-cheek humor and horror. His way of depicting his way of depicting commercialism and the throwaway society of the elderly is very overtly shown in the amusement park come true life story. I wish the sound in this film had been cleaned up better or even somehow overdubbed. I hate to say that, but I did find it took away from the film a bit, and how the mini stories contained within the film sometimes ended too abruptly or were a little under realized as you got the point of the intent of the message. But I feel that, they were kind of too short. I wish this was a longer film. I also was glad I saw this film, especially in the drive-in, just not in a rainstorm, and not as much as I was hoping. At least the rain. I love Romero and everything he does, but this film, just not enough to give it a Mondo. For me, it was a meh. I did really enjoy it. I really love the intent and the message, but I couldn't get out from the fact that the sound was really badly done, and there was just too much noise within the film. I wish they would have cleaned it up. I'm not disappointed I saw it, because it's something you'll never forget.
Yep.
But it's just a meh for me.
All right. So it's amazing to me that Romero can just beat you over the head with a metaphor, as he does in basically all of his movies, yet they're still effective, and for the most part, they're entertaining. This film was no different, as Romero holds a metaphoric mirror up to society, and in this case, it's the plight of the elderly that he focuses on. It is crazy that just shy of 50 years later, this film almost seems timely in its content. The picture of society that he paints back in 1973 is not so different than what can be seen today. The discrimination of the elderly is unfortunately still an issue today. Every scene has a purpose, and every scene delivers the undeniable message that it sets out to reveal. This is at times a hard watch, as its subject is a very heavy one. The use of elderly non-actors lent itself to a genuine feel, as we saw these people in deplorable situations. The amusement park is incomplete in many ways, as it was a project that was not fully realized. It has some sound issues and some editing issues, but it is still an important part of the Romero legacy of films. It does suffer from the fact that it is incomplete in many ways, but is still very watchable, and its message is true. The amusement park was a very high meh for me.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, sure. I'll give it a high.
Yep.
It was pretty high. It wasn't a Mondo. And you know what? Like, for me, everything that Romero does, in my mind, has been Mondo. So this would be the only film I think I've seen in his entire repertoire, and I've seen them all, that didn't make Mondo for me.
There you go. But who knows, had it been fully realized, because it looks like this is what they had. There was probably, there's no reshoots involved in this.
They probably shut down production too.
Exactly.
Like, they probably, and he had to just edit it together at the end.
And there's dialogue that's just completely missing, because there's just music over top, and the overwhelming sound of the amusement park kind of just drowns some stuff out. So it's an incomplete film, and had it been complete, who knows? It could have been so much more. But it was super interesting to watch what was there. And, and knowing the story behind it makes it even more interesting. I really enjoyed it watching it going in. Then I had to go look up, like, why the heck was this made? And why the heck wasn't it released? And why the heck is it not complete? And, all these things going through my head afterwards. I had to go back and find out. And, it was an interesting watch, to say the least. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, your point's so well taken, though, right? Is that we sometimes forget that sometimes the director's vision is not what we end up getting to see. That's why we have movies with the director's cut, right? They had to make edits, or maybe he got his entire budget from the Lutheran Church, and then they said, "Yeah, I've seen what you've done. This is terrible. Stop making it." Right? And then
exactly, we don't know where was the cutoff point. Who knows? Maybe I'm sure there was other stuff that he wanted to put in there. Otherwise, it wouldn't be like 53 minutes or whatever it was, too. So.
Yep. So I'm gonna say the George Romero director's cut of this movie would have been Mondo. So he's still perfect in my mind. Just so everybody knows.
Fair enough.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
the beauty of research and research in film. I just think to myself, first off, I think the only rage we have this week is from Spiral. And I think to myself, okay, did they even like talk to a cop when they made this movie? Every single thing in this movie was like, this was made by a junior high striving director trying to make it into the Christmas pageant, making this movie, and they literally had nothing that's anything protocol related whatsoever. Like, first off, I'm sorry, you're a cop and you're a detective and you're supposedly one of the smartest, and you not once wear gloves when you're touching all the evidence. Like, by the fifth time, I was like, okay, this is now, I think they're intentionally doing this to make it a joke. Because, and how many cops do you know that don't actually know how to properly do CPR? Like, I'm sorry. Like, that was like the worst. So my rage this week is, if you're going to make a movie that has technical, well, it's not even technical. I think it's just common knowledge from everybody that watch police shows that you got to wear gloves because you're not tampering with evidence. Like, I think if you asked a 6-year-old, hey there, little 6-year-old, I see you're watching a police drama, whatever kids watch nowadays, Dora the Explorer meets Mr. Policeman, and she's going, why didn't they have gloves on? There's obviously evidence there. Yeah.
Dora the Explorer, Special Victims Unit.
That's right. Because we didn't get to say Shutter this week.
Dum.
And that's my rage this week. I'm just like, that was the worst.
Yeah, it was not good. There is a lot of bad in that movie. And on that note, so my rage is the fact that Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson were in a movie together, cast as father and son, and that movie was Spiral. Very, very disappointed. That's my rage.
I agree.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
Hey there, movie lovers. This is Dylan,
Frank,
and Erica,
and this is our podcast.
Our weekly movie reviews cover everything we think,
from all-time classics like Pulp Fiction and Friday the 13th to more modern movies like A Star is Born and The Hangover.
And our weekly beverage reviews cover everything you want to drink, from wine and beer to creative cocktails. So get your glass ready and join us weekly wherever you stream your favorite podcasts.
Our show is launching on May 4th. Subscribe today so you don't miss a thing.
Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Drunken Drive-In Podcast and on Twitter at Drunk Drive-In Pod.
So remember, movie lovers, drive safe,
drink responsibly,
and keep watching movies.
May 4th?
I couldn't agree more. Yeah. So
that means you can watch it right now or listen to it right now, Jim.
Yeah, you can get probably a month and just a little bit over a month's worth of content.
It's time to catch up.
So, before we go into the lists, it is time for the fried berry moment of the week, which could lead us into some of the discussions that we actually have in the lists. But Bryce, what's your fried berry moment of the week?
My fried berry moment of the week. I should really be prepared for this, since I should know it's coming every week by now. Yet for some reason it throws me off every time you do it.
Well, why don't I tell you my fried berry moment of the week?
Go ahead.
It may or may not inspire you.
All right.
Because I don't think you didn't have a Mondo this week.
I didn't. I wasn't super generous like you.
This was not super generous. This was the funniest movie I've seen in the last 5 years, and that's Recovery. That's my fried berry of the week.
My fried berry of the week would be, I would say that my fried berry moment of the week is just the uber chemistry between Whitney Call and Mallory Everton. Those two on screen were gold together.
Solid gold.
Yeah, so I will concur. We are in semi-agreement with the fried berry moment of the week. I think I need to come up with some fried berry moment of the week music.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. You know what? When we finally talk to Ryan, we'll see if we can get permission from some of the music from his film.
There you go. All right, so back to the lists, Jim.
Yes. Oh, I bet you have some surprises for me.
I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants. Well, these are some.
What? Wait, what?
These are some actors. Let's start with one and see where it takes us. I am going to nominate as Undoubted, and I can't even think of like 8 movies, but I'm sure he's had 8 movies. I'm sure they were all wonderful. Rory Culkin.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow. Why haven't we talked about him before?
Have we talked about him?
No, I said, why haven't we?
I don't know, because he's fantastic. I love Rory.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same about him.
It's like the best Culkin came last.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what happens in their sex orgies, but I'm going to assume that you're talking about the acting. So, okay.
Arrived.
You want to write
last.
these down? I'm going to... He's been in some TV stuff lately, so that's one thing to be aware of.
Well, get rid of the TV stuff.
Really? Okay, so his last movie was from 2020, which I haven't seen.
Yep.
Is Materna.
Materna?
Materna.
Haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's got a 7.1 on IMDb rating.
I'm excited.
That is good. Okay, then he was in a lot of more movie stuff. Then he was in Lords of Chaos, which was a Mondo. Yep. That's for 2 of us, right there and there. Then he was in A Song of Sway Lake, which I also have not seen.
Huh. There we go. Have not
you
seen
it?
No, I haven't.
Okay, then he was in a movie called Bullet Head.
Bullet Head is Mondo.
Yes, I would say... I'm trying to think now. That was 2017. Yeah, I would say it's Mondo. I can't disagree with it. He was in Columbus, which I haven't seen.
Columbus was meh.
Uh-oh. Okay, and then he was in... Uh-oh. Ba, bum, bum, ba, ba.
Oh, no.
Welcome to Willits.
Welcome to what?
This is a movie. Willits. 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 Welcome to Willits.
Welcome to Willits. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen it.
It's not a good chance for this is going to be any good.
Why is that?
IMDb, it's sitting at a 4.1.
What do they know?
They probably know more than we do because that movie looks terrible. And then he was in Jack Goes Home. How many are we at now?
Jack Goes Home was...
It was a meh for me.
I thought it was Mondo. Who else was in it?
Him. He's kind of the lead.
He's the lead?
Yep. I mean, he's got the biggest credit. His name is Jack, and he plays Jack.
Yeah, that was... I remember that movie. I'd have to watch it again. Okay, this is just falling apart. The wheels are coming off, Jim.
Well, how many movies are we in?
That's 7.
Okay, so the one after that is Shut In.
I gotta start watching some Rory Culkin movies. I love the guy, but I've seen
apparently
1, 2, 3. I've seen 3 out of his last 8. I think I'm a Rory Culkin fan. Apparently I'm not, because I'm missing everything.
I'm in the same boat as you, buddy. I love him.
All right.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh, so good. Mondo.
I could talk about that for an hour.
I love that movie.
Yeah, as do I.
Okay. You know what? That was fun.
Well,
let's do one more.
Well, I got one.
Okay, let's do yours first.
Mine is a Repulsive, which we don't get very often.
Yeah, these are quick, too, so go ahead. It's like they are or they're not.
Yeah, and if you say anything but this person is, I'm going to be very surprised. I'm going to put forward Martin Lawrence as Repulsive.
He's not on the list yet?
No, exactly. Why isn't he?
How is he not on the list?
Exactly.
Oh, God, is he repulsive.
Yeah, and I tried to do the Doubted with him, but damn it, he was in Dolomite, so he can't. He can't.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and that was a Mondo probably from all three of us.
Yeah, it was. All right. Are you ready for this? I don't know what he's been in lately. I'm just throwing this name out because I love the guy. Tom Wilkinson.
Okay. Oh, I kind of like Tom a lot too.
Yeah.
But
There's yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, like why did I think I actually put him on as well?
Really?
Yeah, it's funny actually. I put him on the Mesmerized, but you're actually picking him for Undoubted, are you?
I don't know. I don't know what he's. I can't think. So what? Let's do it real quick.
Okay, he was in a movie called SAS, SAS, Red Notice.
SAS Red Notice? That's a movie?
Yep.
Okay, haven't seen it.
Okay, this is going to be another case for you, by the way. He was in a movie in 2008 called Dead in a Week or Your Money Back. He was in a 2018 movie called The Titan. He was in a 2018 movie called Burden. He was in a 2018 movie called The Happy Prince. He was in a 2018 movie, The Catcher Was a Spy.
Okay, there's no way he was in that many movies in 2018.
He's got credit for it.
By the way,
He's
The
got
Catcher,
credit for
I
it.
have seen The Catcher Was a Spy.
Okay.
Mondo.
Okay. Well,
That's the
I don't
only
think
one
you've
I've
seen
seen.
all those.
I've seen 1 out of 6 so far.
Apparently, we're fans of his work. Then when we see him,
Yes.
but because he makes, it sounds like, I'm just guessing, 10 movies a year, there's a good chance he's never going to make it.
At least in 2018 he made 10 movies.
Yeah, okay. Well,
What was the one just for argument's sake? What was before The Catcher and the Spy? Or is a
which
spy?
was before?
Or was a spy?
The Catcher has a spy?
I thought it was a spy.
I don't know. It's The Catcher Was a Spy.
That's what I
not
said.
It's not the.
I know. Oh, A Catcher Was a Spy.
The Catcher.
The Catcher.
Was
Yeah, I know.
The Catcher was a spy. Before that
exactly
was The Happy Prince.
Before.
In time, not in what I was reading.
Yes.
Okay. It was The Beautiful Fantastic.
The Beautiful Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, this is a lost cause. I've seen 1 out of 7 movies. Might as well do the 8th. What's the 8th? Let's see if I've done one out of 8.
I kind of don't want to know anymore.
I want to know what the 8th black is.
Okay, it's called Denial from 2016.
Oh, Mondo.
There we go. So he's on. There we go. We just don't have to watch.
He can't be on with 2 Mondos.
Can we just put him on for Mesmerizing and move on?
Fine, he's mesmerizing.
Okay, there we go.
But I think at some point I got to watch a bunch of Tom Wilkinson, and then I'm bringing him forward again, and then I'm going to make you watch 6 frickin' movies.
I do love him, so I won't mind one bit, actually. So bring it on, bitch.
All right. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to try that again. That was, I don't know that worked.
Before actually doing a bit of research? Yeah, that was
zero research. I just threw a name out. I like this guy. I haven't seen any of his movies.
My embarrassment from the beginning of the podcast is nothing compared to your double embarrassment.
Whatever. That was entertainment, my friend.
Solid gold.
Solid gold.
Solid gold. Oh, baby. Last week on Rage or Dare, Bryce thought himself more powerful than the dare bag when he scoffed at it and thought he was Teflon to the rage. Provided by our listeners. He pulled what is thought to be M. Night Shyamalan's worst movie when he pulled The Last Airbender. This week, I will get to test my luck with the dare bag, or maybe return to Bryce's newly created bag of rage, which so far has been delivering on all fronts. Let's check in with Bryce to see if M. Night Shyamalan, a ding-dong, should go back to writing ghost stories or leaving his scary ways behind and stay doing children's stories for life? Bryce, how was the CGI from our boy M. Night?
I don't know. Yeah.
But wait.
What? Huh?
Most importantly, can you feel the rage?
CGI was the CGI. It wasn't great. The Last Airbender was not as bad as I thought it might be. It was a strange experience as anime got turned into live action. That did not translate well. The performances within saved the film to a certain degree, as the 3 kids cast in the lead roles were so bad that I laughed out loud at their performances on many occasions. The writing was also laughably bad, as you would get scenes where actors would just repeat things back to each other repeatedly. It was odd. You would get one character that would say something like, "I think we should go over there," and the other character would say, "We should go over there." And then the other character would respond, "Yes, over there is where we should go." To which the other character would say, "Okay, let's go over there." It was bizarre. Like, this went on. This wasn't just like one scene. There was like, they just kept on repeating what they just said back to each other. And it wasn't like once. It was like over and over again. I was like, what is going on? What am I watching? It was crazy. So,
But was it crazy good?
so I'm not kidding. This was what the dialogue was like, which once again was laughably bad. So this was not as painful to watch as a film in this segment should be, as it was amusing in its awfulness. It was still a rage, but I can't call it a rage because I literally giggled and chuckled at it like
No, that's
a dozen
that's almost
times.
the epitome of it. But it's not
It's still
like
a rage.
funny bad, where it's bad, it's funny. It's just terrible and
It was-
not and funny.
it was-
not with.
I was laughing at it, but I was laughing. It wasn't making me angry. It was going, man, this is a piece of dog crap. Yeah, but it wasn't like an all out, oh, how could they make me watch this? Because
How could you be?
I was giggling.
How could you be so mad at such cute kids who were just trying to learn to act?
They were
That's
so
all
bad.
they were trying to do.
The 3 leads, it's like, wow. How did they? Kids can act these days. There are so many decent kid actors out there. Don't get me wrong, there's still a few crap ones, but there are some This was a multi-million-dollar movie. Like, they spent some money on this movie. Could they not find some actors? The Last Airbender little dude, he was terrible. Like, it was like, oh my, he was so bad that every time he said something, I giggled, no matter what he was saying. It was crazy.
I wonder if it was maybe M. Night made it with his kids' friends or something.
I don't know.
Like, he's like, hey, little buddy, you got any friends? I'm making a movie. I'd like to kind of do something for you and your friends. I'm not around much. I'm directing and stuff.
Yeah, it was real bad. I understand why this ended up in the bag, but it was, by my standards, it wasn't quite what. I'm not upset that this one was in the bag, though. Not like some of them that I've done lately. I understand why this was in the bag. I just found humor where there wasn't any.
It's a bit of a treat for you today, buddy.
There you go. All right, so where are we going from here? Something you got to do something?
I think I've got to make a decision here. You know what? I'm going to pull from the dare bag.
Ah, you wuss.
Well, I don't know if I could take the movies I've had to watch lately back to
I
back.
get that.
I haven't had a break yet, like you.
I get that. Yeah, no, if you choose from my bag, oh man, seriously, you are in for it every time you do it. It is.
I hope I get something I like.
You will
please be
not.
John Wick 3.
There is no chance.
Please be John Wick 3 from the stare bag. Did someone give that for me to watch? I want to see that.
Okay, dare bag. I don't know. I already watched this.
But it's me that has to watch it.
But it's you that has to watch it, right? Because
have I watched this?
I don't think so. I think I might have chosen this out of your bag, or maybe maybe Murray's.
Okay. So then, does it count? Do I get this one? Then
I think you get to watch it. I don't, because you didn't watch it.
Do people really want us to hear us talk about a movie that makes people rage?
I don't know. Do they want to hear about the same movie twice? Is the question. Let's make a ruling right now. I don't really care.
Let's do it. It's carved in film Rage or Dare
So once.
history.
So are we saying it's
Once
fine,
the
or
movie's been brought to the... I
if
say
it's
once
already
the
been
movie's
brought forward, doesn't matter?
Yeah, we don't
both
want
of us-
to talk about it more.
Okay.
That's just...
So
it's
you
past.
just avoided a pretty major bullet.
Pluto Nash?
John Travolta.
I love
Battlefield
John Travolta.
Earth.
Oh, I watched that also. So we both did.
Oh, did we already do that?
Yeah, it was both of us that week.
Oh.
And it was also terrible. So yeah, I can't watch it again twice anyway.
Yeah,
It was kind of moot, but it helped
That
us
was
make a decision,
that was
so
Dutch
it's good.
Angle Palooza.
Yeah, it was Dutch Angle Palooza.
Okay, so take two. I didn't even
Take
remember
two.
that you watched it as well. I thought I had to suffer through that
Because
alone.
it was well, you know, friends do that for each
This
other.
is hilarious.
It's worse.
No, Boondock Saints. What is going on? Take three.
So for those of you who are actually listening to this, the Boondock Saints you won't understand yet because we had a private episode that you'll eventually get access to only our members, and Boondock Saints was one of the films we brought up, so that's even funnier. Okay, what's number 3 on the docket?
And that was their all-time favorite movie. So
Yeah,
okay. I don't even know what this is. I guess I do know what this is. You have to watch
because you
A-
can read
a
English.
sci-fi classic.
Okay,
Not Independence Day.
Independence Day 2.
Independence Day. I don't know if you can see that.
Independence Day-
Resurgence.
Research. Oh my God! You know what? I have not even seen this movie yet
Oh, well, that's exciting then. Get to,
because I was afraid to.
get to watch a brand new one. I didn't even know it existed. I didn't know there were sequels to Independence Day. Is that like
You didn't?
Is that the only one, or is there like 10 Independence Days?
No, there's just one, and Jeff Goldblum's in it. Liam Hemsworth's in it. Bill Pullman's in it. It's got a lot of people in this.
So basically everybody came back.
Fisher's in it.
Everybody survived in the first one's back for the second.
Judd Hirsch is in it. Yep.
Judd
Brent
Hirsch.
Spiner's in
Who
it.
doesn't like Judd Hirsch?
Vivica Fox. You know what? I'm talking myself into this. This
I
could be
tell
great.
you. Who doesn't want to watch Alex from Taxi?
Who doesn't want to see Jeff Goldblum in everything?
Exactly. It's going to be great. You are one lucky dog. Once again, the fans are given a treat.
Yeah, I think this could be a treat.
I'm glad you plucked this one because I
This would
think
have been death to you.
I
Actually,
think you're going to really enjoy it.
Something tells me you're not telling the whole truth. Nothing but the truth.
I am commonly known as a teller of truths, Jim. I've often said that you ask anybody in the world that knows me, and they will say, and you say, describe Bryce, they will say teller of truths, and they won't even think about it. It'll just come out. Now, don't get me wrong, not everybody knows me, but depending on where you go in the world, there's some place, like if you go into Yugoslavia, there's probably only about 10 to 15% of the population there knows of me. It's not like here in North America where it's probably closer to 80.
Yeah, no, 80, 85.
Yeah, but anybody that you ask, describe Bryce, teller of truths. It's just what comes out.
Yeah, I get more the other side of Bryce. I get the, Bryce, pull my finger, Bryce.
I don't even know what that means, Jim.
Oh, see, exactly. Well, thanks again, Ragers, for listening. Rage love to Julene from It Goes Down in the PM podcast, and James, our 2 member subscribers. Thanks to our extended Film Rage crew of Leonard Conlon for his artistic vision and photography via Leonard Conlon Photography. For Bex Goose for her cartooning skills at Potato Lady podcastreviews.com. Thanks to our sponsor, Canyon Meadows Cinemas, and we can't be happier that you are open, effective tomorrow. We will see you this weekend. Please go and support your local independent cinemas as they start to open because they desperately need your help. Find us on social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and TikTok at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. See what we look like on our YouTube channel by searching Film Rage Podcast. We are always wanting to make this a raging blast for all listeners. And that means you, people who are listening, and maybe your friends. So, like and subscribe and send us emails to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see terrible movies to fuel our rage, but no matter what you do, please make us rage. Please. Please. That's it for this week. Rage on!
Rage on!